This is Chris Christensen from Amateur Traveler, and this is Road Gear. Today we're looking at the Jucy camper van, which I've been driving around the central coast of California for a few days. One of the interesting things about the Jucy camper van is it's a minivan that's been converted into an RV, and because of that it drives like a car, so it drives fairly easily. But when you get inside, it has some, not all, the amenities of a camper van. If I open up the back, I've got my suitcase temporarily stored here just because there's only so much storage space underneath. But I've got on the right hand side here a sink, giving me some extra butane for the stove which is sitting here, but it's a pump sink. And then I've got both a portable stove that I can put on a picnic table, as well as another stove that just comes out here, and you light it. Oops. Just like a regular stove. I like the little picture on here that says, "Don't put this away while lit." Here's my dishes, as well as I've got some storage in here for big pots and pans and other dishes, and some of my own groceries. And then underneath the silverware is access to that. There's my morning breakfast, the cereal. I just have to get my milk out of this fridge. The milk is cold. I got a cold Diet Coke for the day. And I'm ready to go. A new innovation since the last time I drove a van like this are solar cells that help charge the secondary battery. And then there's also the penthouse. And the penthouse pops up into sleeping for 2 more people. Let's see how that works. I've undone all the latches, and then I go over here and put in this handle here, and nothing happens. When I'm done with sleeping, I can take down the various shades. And then we're going to fold up this seat. This is easier to do with 2 hands. Once I have that seat folded up, you can see that here's the tabletop. There's a place where you can put a table in the floor, and underneath the tabletop is storage that actually goes down into the floor, has deep bins. Just in front of this are the controls. There's a DC outlet, USBs, and then also switches to turn on and off various extra electronics like the fridge and the internal lights. Once the seats fold up, I make sure that I don't have anything underneath it here. I put last night's clothes there. That didn't work very well. And then with one hand, I can slide that back into position. This is where the table goes, and so that you get a table in between these 2 seats. Now let me finish converting this to daylight by taking down all the other shades and folding up the bedding. It's now configured to drive. I have the seats pulled back. You can't sit in this seat when the seats are pulled back, but you can when you're parked. Just pull those seats up. I've got a table, and I've got 2 back seats with seat belts. The other seat is not safe to sit in while you're driving. So that's the Jucy camper van. It's an interesting option for traveling for 1 to 4 people. I'm just by myself this week, which actually makes it even easier. I'm Chris Christensen from Amateur Traveler, and this has been Road Gear.